Here. Okay. Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm back. Thank you for popping in this morning to see me here. It's Monday, April 17th, 2023. I haven't been here now since last Thursday. I wanted to thank the actor that was here on Friday. And I'm sure all of the rest of you who were with us last Friday, um, you're doing the same thing. You were thanking all of your actors who filled in for you on Friday to represent you on this channel as viewers. We all thank our actors, our stunt doubles, for all the great work they've done. We couldn't have won this award without them, and of course, we thank the writers. The screenwriters and the directors and the cameramen and the lighting director, all the makeup people. You guys are the best. Craft food services. Oh man, really enjoyed that. That was something to watch. I enjoyed watching the program over the weekend. How all the actors stepped in for all of us on Friday to made a great show. It looked real. I mean, it looked pretty. It looked pretty real. I gotta say these recreationists, they put on a pretty good little show there Friday. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you obviously weren't here. You may want to watch Friday's show and just see what actors can do nowadays when it comes to you know running a YouTube channel like this one. It's not easy. I have to say, the actor who played me had to learn a lot of stuff about option writing and a few other things. And I'll tell you, some of the actors who were asking questions of the host on Friday, very intelligent questions. You could tell that these actors not only studied the lines, but then they studied the background, of the profession. Really, they gave it their all, and I do appreciate it. Those of you who are here this morning, you're back. I just wanted to remind you folks that the reason you're here most likely is because you're an option writer. You're becoming a writer of options. You're not necessarily here to view this Hollywood looking face, because that's hardly the reason you couldn't possibly be here for that. You're here for the camaraderie, the comedy, and the social getting together, of course. But really, why you're here is you're here to make money. And being that you're option writers, you are making money. The chances are, if you're an option writer and you're a follower of this channel, you are making money in essentially a bear market. And I say congratulations, but I'm not surprised. I've been saying all along, you're going to make money in this market. Do not fear the upside of this market. I wanted to remind you folks, again, there's 78 of you here now, and you're slowly coming in. You're coming in. So those of you watching on the rerun, I guess I should remind you about two things. One, hit the thumbs up button. Okay, and number one. But number two, what I want to remind you folks of is, if you're becoming an option writer, you are an option writer, you've been an option writer for a while, and you're adding to your portfolio, and you're growing your option writing capabilities. As you get richer doing this, and you will, there will come a point in time where you will cross a certain financial threshold. And that's, I don't know exactly what day that is. You'll know it when it happens. Okay, believe me, this is not going to come as a shock to any of you, although it'll come as a surprise, maybe a pleasant surprise. But there's going to come a point in time where you guys are going to make so much money writing options on a consistent basis, and you're going to be able to sit down and go, well, according to the calendar, it's now April the 17th, and by May 17th and June 17th and July 17th, you're going to be able to factor forward how much money you're probably going to be making from this market, from writing options. And you're going to realize at one point in time, it'll hit you, in a private moment. You'll be in your your home, your apartment, your condo. Maybe you're driving your car, going for an errand, but it'll occur to you that, oh my God, the kind of money I'm talking about that I'm going to make in the next 3 to 6 months, I've never ever experienced this before. I've never made this much money in my lifetime. I've had scenarios where, my wife and I bought a house when we got married, and 10 years later we We sold it and bought another house, and we were dealing with amounts of money we'd never dealt with before because we had equity in the house and we paid it down and it had gone up in value and oh yeah, all that stuff. But cash into our hands, no employer has ever paid me this kind of money to go to the office or anywhere. Never will. There's no hope in hell of me ever doing. As a matter of fact, the kind of money I'm making on options and I'm going to be making on options is more money than the president of the company that I work for, who I've never met, also makes. I am making more money coming into our household than the top executives of this entire organization, which are way above me in pay grade, hundreds and thousands of people between me and those levels of people, and I make more than they do. That is what you're going to have to get ready for because it's going to come at you pretty fast. Growing your portfolio in a parabolic way that some of you are doing right now, you guys think it's cute and all when you make a couple $100 on an option, which it's all right. You write your first call, sell a call option for $4 and buy it back for $2, and you go, I made $200. Hey Bruce, boy, I'm glad I bought that lesson off you for $150. I just made $200 on a call option. That paid you. This is great. What you have to realize, though, is that you're going to do this for the rest of your life. And you're not going to do it with one contract because sooner or later you're into 10 contracts and you write 10 contracts for $4 each. You bring in $4,000. You buy them back for $1.50, $2, and you make $2,500 on the turnover. And again, you go, Bruce, this is great. I appreciate it. I've taken all your classes. You have 15 of them now, all paid for. Thank you. I've even had a one-on-one with you. Spent $400 to have 1 hour with you. Ended up being an hour and a half because we just can't stop talking when we get together. That was great too. All paid for. Beautiful. This is, oh man, super. Then a few months later, you're writing 50 contracts and you're bringing in $2 a contract and you're clearing $10,000. And that's where you sit back and go, I'm going to take 5,000 of that 10,000 and pay off one of our credit cards in full. I've had this card forever, and there's always a balance on it, and I'm just getting rid of it. Or I'm going to sign up for a new credit card, and I'm going to get a gazillion welcome points. I have to spend $4,000 in the first 3 months to get all these added points, which give me all kinds of benefits and everything. And I'm going to take some dough to my option account, and I'm going to use that card for expenses, rack up the points, the expenses for the points, and I'm going to pay it off in cash. And I'll just do the fly option trading from that 10 grand I made over there. It's great. Now I have enough points for my wife and I to spend a week at a nice resort somewhere or whatever the deal is. Then you write 2, 3, 4 months later, you write 100 contracts, 150 contracts, 150 contracts, and you score $2 on those, and you score 30 grand. And you start looking around your bills and you go, I don't have any bills. I don't have any credit card debt anymore. Month in, month out, that's all gone. The car loan we had a year ago, that we paid that off 6 months ago, that's gone. We have a mortgage, but we've carried the mortgage for quite a while, and it's just so much a month that it's no big deal. And we just have our regular expenses, electricity, water, property taxes and home insurance, and food. But there's nowhere else this money goes to because, either you have or have not quit your day job and you're paying your bills from that, or your significant other has or has not quit their job and is or is not paying the bills. The account is now generating revenue that you have nowhere to put it. And so the account grows parabolically. And a year down the road, again, you're to the point where you're writing now 500 contracts every couple of months, and you're hauling in 100,000 a month in revenues to you, and you have nowhere to put it. In theory, this is what's coming. I'm warning you, and I'm giving you the heads up that you're going to get to the point sooner or later where you're going to be making so much money that you're not used to this amount of capital coming in. You're not going to feel worthy. You may feel guilty. And you have to get through all of that. You're going to have to be able to find a way through it all. It's kind of like a lottery winner who, they get their $50 million check or $200 million check, whatever it is, and then they put that to work through hopefully some decent financial advisors, and they're hauling in 0.5% a month in interest or something like that, and they're hauling in $500,000 a month in interest on their money, and they're spending $20,000 a month to live, and the other $480,000 they don't need it to live on, and so it just compounds, and now the interest is made on the interest, and so on. But when you guys as option writers get to a certain point, you're going to be writing options on 5-10 different things at the same time. You're going to be writing thousands of contracts a month, and you're going to be hauling in hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in income. And it really has nowhere else to go but back to the account to grow the account further out. That's the world you're going to. And when you get to that level, that is when the tables turn in everything you are used to. Everything turns. You start to get approached by a lot of people you've never heard of before. And they're not scammers. There might be some, of course, but you're going to start to be approached by some pretty legitimate people out there who are going to want to have a chat with you. And they're going to want to offer you some opportunities to do business that you've never heard deals like this ever offered to anyone you know. And I wanted to mention the whole thing there to kind of set up this thing over here, because in the last hour or so, I was watching an interview with a financial analyst who watches banks closely. And they were talking to this individual about the banking problem that's out there. And are we going to see more bank failures is the question. And if so, who and why? Why would banks be having such trouble in this world of 5% interest rates? And the individual said something that was really interesting to me, and it was something along the lines of an example, just an example. He was saying stuff like houses in the Hamptons, as an example. Houses in the Hamptons along the beach and so on are very valuable homes, and they go for big dollars. They can be rented during the summer for ungodly amounts of money. And they just appreciate in value year in and year out, recession, no recession, whatever. Because there's only so much real estate in the Hamptons, and there's a demand for real estate, and more people are becoming millionaires as the years go by. Inflation is helping some. And there's always a demand for high-end housing. And a number of regional banks, and I'm thinking dozens of them, not one or two. I'm thinking dozens of different regional banks between Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, Pennsylvania. These outfits were, up until a year ago, were very aggressively looking to lend money. And the problem was that these guys were trying to lend money to whoever was worthy of borrowing it. And the problem was that everybody had money to lend, everybody. And even regional banks could get depositors to bring in money, and they could give them 0.25 percentage point a year interest on their accounts. And there was nothing more they had to offer, rather than the old days where you used to get a toaster when you came in and opened a savings account, or we'd give you a coffee maker if you opened up a checking account, but they didn't offer those anymore. And the big banks, Chase and JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs and all the hitters, the huge outfits, they too paid no interest to anybody, and they were making loans to the McDonald's of the world, the General Electrics of the world, the GMs of the world. They were getting the big loan deals because they had capital, big wads of capital. But these regional banks, they had billions of dollars to rent, but not hundreds of billions of dollars to rent out. They could lend out, $1 billion here, a couple billion there, but they didn't have 25 billion to lend out. But they were attracting money, and because money was cheap and money was being handed out for free, as evidenced by many of you who are getting packets in the mail up until a year ago. Transfer your credit card balance from your account to this credit card, and we'll give you 1 year interest-free money on your credit card. Transfer the whole balance over. Free money. And people were doing that. Well, people in the Hamptons and other very well-to-do locations, especially in the United States, so that could run the gamut from Hawaii to California to Florida to Texas to the Carolinas, up to the Hamptons area, everywhere. Folks who are well-to-do, which is where you are all headed now, were being offered deals from these bankers, hey, listen, if you're thinking of buying a new house, in the Hamptons, let us know. We'll be happy to, make a deal for you. We'll set up a mortgage for you. And the well-to-do are going, I don't need a mortgage. I have, enough money to buy a house in the Hamptons by just making a transfer, and it's a done deal. But these banks are going, no, don't be so quick about using up your capital for that. Why don't you consider borrowing money from us at like 1% interest, 1.25% interest, 1.5% interest, nothing down, and no principal payments for 5 years, just interest only. Interest only, $10 million loan on a $10 million house for 5 years at 1 to 1.5% interest. Well, now, hey, wait a minute. A 25-year loan on a house, a $10 million house, you'd have to put, $2 million down and get an $8 million loan, and you'd pay $8 million off over 25 years. That's $320,000 a year, as best calculations I can come up with. And that comes out to about $26,000 a month in principal. So you got to pay principal $26,000 a month to pay off $8 million in loan over 25 years. If you want to kind of relate it down to where you are, if you know someone that has a $1 million house with an $800,000 mortgage, then it's $2,600 a month in principal payments plus interest. And if the interest is 1% on your entire mortgage of $8 million or $800,000, I mean, you're talking, $300-400 a month in interest for an $800,000 mortgage, or $3,000-4,000 on a bigger $8 million mortgage. So the total payment is $30,000 a month on a $10 million house if you even had a mortgage. But what if I come to you and say, go and buy that $10 million house, the money's in your account, and you just pay us interest of 1% a year? Well, you're now paying $100,000 a year in interest on a $10 million loan. And that's $8,000 something a month. So for $8,000 a month, you can be in a $10 million house instead of paying $30,000 a month. $8,000 instead of $30,000. So if you're really well-to-do, you got to ask yourself, why should I drop 30 grand? If I take a mortgage, why should I drop 30 grand a month? I can just borrow money for 1%. But if I can buy the house for cash, why should I even take this deal? Well, the reason is you have a $10 million asset that your banker is convinced is just going to go up in value, and all you need to do is cough up $8,000 a month to keep it current. And the $10 million you were going to put into that property, you can put into something else that makes you money, because of course that's what you do. You make money with money. If you own $10 million worth of Apple and write a bunch of contracts against it, you're going to make way more than $8,000 a month on $1 million of Apple stock, and so on and so on and so on and so on. And so the very well-to-do, which is where you're headed, were getting offers like this. And they were not stupid. They would take offers like this. They were getting competing offers like this. So the word got out through a realtor. Oh, yeah, I'm talking to Joe Schmuck over there about buying this $10 million. We're shopping. We're looking for a $10 million house in the Hamptons. And the realtor has connections with every bank you can imagine in the Northeast. I mean, dozens of banks. And they're constantly contacting this realtor going, what's going on? Who's doing what? We're looking to lend money. And the realtor mentions, I have a client who's shopping. We've done 4 open houses in the last 2 weeks and getting close to picking a house. We can do a financing deal. So now the realtor comes to you and says, I have a bank that's contacting me. I've had 2 banks. I got 6 banks. I got 12 banks that would love to talk to you about a mortgage deal on your home. And you go, I'm a cash buyer. I don't need. Well, you might want to listen to what they have to say. And so they send you an email and hi, how are you? And maybe a bank official comes to your office to visit with you to say hi, how are you? And we'd love to have you as a client. And here's what we can do for you. You, as a smart financial handler of capital, go, this isn't such a bad deal. I like getting money for nothing. I heard a song about this in the 80s, Money for Nothing, and it went to #1. And banging the bonkos, I thought this is pretty good, better than moving refrigerators and everything else. So these folks are taking these deals. So these regional banks are all over themselves after many clients over many thousands of properties to make deals like this, while you, in the past, before you became incredibly wealthy by doing what you're doing now, back in the day when you were trying to buy a $600,000 house with $100,000 down, $200,000 down, $300,000 down, and you're trying like hell to get someone to lend you the money. And it required principal payments, and the interest rate was at market rates. Well, right now, these regional banks, just kind of go forward a little bit, these regional banks are in trouble because these regional banks have got, in some cases, hundreds, if not thousands, of these kinds of loans out there to very well-to-do people. They're not in trouble because the well-to-do people can't pay the payments. That's not the problem at all. Very well-to-do people can pay 1% interest on a $10 million loan all the time. They'll always make that payment. Not a problem, because that is free money, especially now with interest rates on mortgages or closer to 7%. If you have a 1% mortgage and no principal repayment, you can make the payment. You'll find whatever you have to do to make that payment. No problem at all. So these regional banks are sitting on thousands of these, and they're getting paid on time. So they don't actually have a problem with the lender, the person they lent the money to. That's not the problem at all. The problem is if the perception of the depositors out there, which includes the very well-to-do, but everybody else as well who doesn't get this juicy deal. If a lot of upper middle-class people and middle-class people start withdrawing money from their regional bank to transfer it to larger banks or to SoFi, for example, great for SoFi, great for Bank of America, great for Wells Fargo, bad news for regional banks. Regional banks have a cash crunch. They've got more money going out than coming in on deposit, and they have a big chunk of their loan portfolio made up of interest-only mortgage loans on high-end properties in the Hamptons and elsewhere. Now, how can that be a problem? How in the world could they have problems with this kind of a scenario? Well, if deposits come out, they have to raise liquid cash to handle withdrawals. They can't make other loans. They can't lend you a $500,000 loan on a $800,000 house. They don't have $500,000 lying around loose cash to lend it to you. Even if you're paying 7%, they can't take your 7% interest on a $500,000 loan because they've lent out a ton of their dough at virtually nothing. A year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. This has been going on a long time. And they're tapped out. And they're now cutting back on what they're lending out because they're trying to hold on to what they've got in liquid form. They cannot and will not sell one single mortgage that they've got right now to a very wealthy person to any other bank. Because if they did that, the moment they sell a mortgage, a $10 million mortgage to somebody else, they're not going to get $10 million. Because the buyer of said mortgage is going to say, hey, listen, buddy, you got billionaire so-and-so, this option writer that Uncle Bruce created. You got this Uncle Bruce viewer who's just making scabs of money, just gobs of this stuff. And you gave these guys, this husband and wife, a A 30-year mortgage, nothing down, no principal, 5 years, $10 million on that house in the Hamptons, which is now worth $12 million, and they only owe $10 million on it. Looks like a great deal. What's the interest rate on it? That's 1%. Oh, we have a problem. This mortgage, this loan is not worth $10 million today. This loan is worth $10 million on the last day that this mortgage has to be paid off. Because the borrower, that's you, borrowed $10 million on this house, but you have 30 years to pay it off. And for the first 5 years, you're just paying interest, no principal. So at the end of 5 years, now you have to pay 25 years of principal. It's a 30-year mortgage. You get 5 years principal free. Now you pay principal for 25 years, $320,000 a month, a year, which is $26,000 a month, going forward, plus the interest of 1%. The guy who might buy that mortgage from your institution is going to say, I'm not giving you $10 million for this loan. Because if I give you $10 million to take over this deal that you made with these guys, I'm only getting 1% interest on the money. I got to give you $10 million to get 1% from this very wealthy person who can pay it, but it's only 1%. Hey, man, I can buy a mortgage from Bank of America that just made a bunch of mortgages in Richmond, Virginia, or in Atlanta, Georgia, and I can get mortgages that pay me 6.5%, 7% for my money. Why don't I give them $10 million and I'll buy 20 $500,000 mortgages that pay 7% interest, and I'm making 7% of my $10 million. With you, I'm only making 1% on my $10 million. Makes no sense to me. And the banker who gave you this juicy deal knows that. And so they're sitting on loans that they issued 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, that are not worth anywhere near what they offered you. You, on the other hand, are doing great. You're sitting on a house that you paid $10 million for 3 years ago. It's now worth $12.5 million. You only owe $10 million on it. You got $2.5 million equity. You might decide it's time to sell this house because I don't want to make $25,000 and $30,000 a month payments on this house. I want to score my $2.5 million gain on this house. I'm going to sell off this house and be done with it. Now, the banker will be happy you're doing it because you're going to flip the house, pay the banker the $10 million back, and then you're going to take your $2.5 million left over as profit, and you're going to just say, you know what, we just lived in this place for 4 years for $8,000 a month. 2 measly $1,000 a week is all it cost us to live in a $10 million house. What a joke. Let's go back to our penthouse suite in Manhattan. We just added $2.5 million in our bank account. Taxes are taxes. Forget all that. The banker will be happy. But for all those who are not selling off their houses and who are into the second year of a 5-year principal-free time frame, these mortgages are upside down for the bank. The bank is on the hook. They can't get this thing off. And so they need to find capital some other way to handle their depositors who want to take their money out. And there is one of the problems with some of the regional banks that are going on out there. And so it's a double whammy of a problem. They don't have any capital right now to lend out at 6-7% to bring in the big money. They are bringing in 1 to 1.5% on the money they lent up until a year ago. And they're not able to get cash from those portfolio loans to take care of withdrawal requests from people who want their money out because they hear there's a possibility there's a liquidity problem at regional bank so-and-so. And so it's a circular wheel of crap. In the meantime, we have another problem in the wide world. And again, option writers who you are option, you don't have to worry about this problem. As a matter of fact, the problem I'm going to talk to you about now is going to make you even richer. So the news just gets better and better on Monday mornings for my view. The other problem we're running into is what they're talking about. The hint is an earnings recession. That's the title of today's show, an earnings recession. And what does that mean? Well, what it means is corporate America and corporate Canada, corporate UK, corporate Europe, corporate Asia, any public company out there that where you can trust the books. So that's not a single Chinese company, but any of the North American companies and European companies that are publicly traded and are using bona fide accounting methods that we can double check, unlike China that you can't check. These entities, these public entities, have been coming out now for the last 6 months, a year, and warning us that we're not going to make as much money as last year. They've been warning us. They've told all the analysts. They've told their brokerage pals. They've come out and said it. Now, some outfits, public companies, have said, "Look, we're going to make. We think we're going to make 10% less money this year than last year." But last year was like a record out of Goldilocks. It was like a crazy year last year. We're going to be kind of like back to 2019, just before the pandemic. We're going to be back to that, which was still pretty good. Of course, at that time, there was no inflation like there is now. So that's not so good, but we're not going to talk about that. And the brokerage firms know, oh, yeah. We know. We know you're going to be back to the 2019 levels. But you were profitable then. That's profitable today. The inflation thing is an issue. But the public company then comes up and says, but here's what we're going to do about that. What we're doing is we're going to lay off 10% of our workers and reduce our costs dramatically that way. So that'll help offset the loss of revenue. Oh, and we're also going to enhance our stock buybacks. And so we're going to go to our bankers, our Wall Street guys, and we're going to issue bonds, and we're going to raise cash, and we're going to buy back stock. As a matter of fact, a lot of public companies raised money in the bond market up until a year ago at nothing. They were paying 0.5% to 1.5% interest, 2% interest on trillions of dollars of corporate debt they were taking to buy stock back for the next 5 years. So the board of directors had made an approval for company whatever to buy back 5% of the shares for the next 5 years at a cost of $50 billion, $10 billion a year for 5 years. And they went out and borrowed $50 billion. And the money is sitting in the account, in the bank account. And every year they're spending $10 billion to buy back a bunch of the stock. The reality is, though, here's the good news. Really good news for corporate America. It always gets better. It just always. One, the interest they're paying is a tax deduction. So whatever interest they're paying to the bankers, they get to write that off. So the American taxpayer pays a subsidy to corporate America to allow them to buy their stock back. The good news for the corporate America, though, is if you're a publicly traded company and your stock is half the price it was 2 years ago, back at the height of the market in November of 2021, you can only buy back 5% of your stock per year. Okay, you can't buy 10% back because it's gone down in price. You can only buy 5% of all the shares. So that's a certain number of shares you're allowed to buy back every year. If those shares are half the price than they used to be, you need half the money. You don't need $10 billion a year for 5 years to buy back. You need $5 billion a year to buy back the stock. You see, the stock has gone down in value. And so the cost of the corporation is lower. But they borrowed all this money. They have $50 billion raised at 1%, 1.5% interest. It's all good for the corporate entity, isn't it? Because they don't need all $50 billion. They only need $25 billion in theory. They might use maybe $30 billion of the $50 billion to buy back stock over the 5 years. And so that's a good thing, I guess. And so the fewer shares that are outstanding, whatever money you make, profit, you divide the profit into all the shares outstanding and you come out to a per share earning number. A per share earning number is holding its own because every year 5% fewer shares have to be divided into the earnings, which are dropping. But if you're dropping the earnings and dropping the number of shares at the same time, it's relative. You keep beating the street. You keep beating expectations. On the surface, this sounds fantastic. It really does sound great. Unfortunately, under the surface, what we have here are public companies not making as much money as they were making in the last year or two. And the next question in everyone's mind is, well, hold it a second. They can't go out and borrow another $50 billion at 1 to 1.5% to keep buying stock for another 5 years on the open market because the cost of money has gone way, way up. So that's going to limit these guys as to how much they're going to borrow and literally buy back, no matter what their stock's trading at. If the cost of the money to buy the stock back is too high, they can't afford to do it. And if there's a slowdown in the overall world economy, which seems to be happening right now with inflation rising, this company isn't raising its sales guidance at all. They're not even selling more merchandise to equal the inflation rate. So they're actually not equaling what they made in 2019 at all. They're earning the kind of money they made in 2013, 10 years ago, when they were a much smaller corporation. This is actually bad news. And so the stock could go lower. It's not going to go higher. The other factor is if you make $5 a share profit today, or last year, this year, you make $5 a share profit, and you trade it at 20 times earnings, you're a $100 stock. But if you're going to make $450 in earnings next year times 20 times earnings, that's a $90 stock. There's $10 of downside for the market. Now, the company offsets that by buying up all the stock they can get under $100 a share, up to 5% of all the stock. But as soon as they hit 5%, they can't buy anymore, and the stock can just keep dropping without them being able to stop it until the next calendar year when they can start buying again. But by then it might be 85, and they might only get it to 88, and then they stop buying, and then it goes down to 82 because the year after next, if they don't make $450 and they only make $4, 20 times earnings is an $80 stock. We got a problem here with an earnings recession that could be kicking in. And despite corporate America's spin on all of what's going on and how Congress has cut taxes and how they allowed corporations to do bigger write-offs and all kinds of tax advantage schemes that have come up left, right, and center, the final bottom line is are you selling more stuff? And is your cost to make the stuff the same or less than before? So you've improved your efficiency and are making more money for every dollar coming through the front door, which means there's more money per share made by the corporation for the shareholders who own the entity anyway. That's all we want to know. And with an earnings recession, the answer is no. With an earnings recession, we're going to have a race to the bottom where corporate America is going to constantly come out with new guesstimates, if they do any at all. When a company doesn't give you forward guidance, that's bad news. Because if they don't give you forward guidance, that means they don't want to tell you what they know, or they don't know what they can tell you because they just don't know how bad it's going to be. That is not what the stock market likes to hear. They don't want to perceive that kind of a thought. They don't want to be part of that. The stock market loves certainty. They love clarity. They like to know that the numbers being presented to them are accurate, and they can deal with these numbers. The question now is, will corporate America continue to have lower profits every quarter going forward for the next 8, 10, 12 quarters, 2.5 years, 3 years? What should the stock trade at today if we know that in a year or two from now, the earnings per share will be this much rather than that much? That's what the market wants to know. And as option writers, those of you who are still here talking to me personally rather than having assistants talk to me because of how wealthy you are, those of you are going to continue to generate some fantastic returns on your portfolios from option premiums where the odds of you getting exercised are minimal if you are writing out of the money option contracts. That's the story. So it's all good news for you guys. 173 of you are here. You guys are going to make a ton of money. You're going to continue to be well paid for your offering of options that people will trade on the open options market. You will sit on the cash up front. It'll be in your account, and you will be able to decide and dictate when you buy those calls back and for what price. And now it's a matter of what kind of profit margin are you happy enjoying on an option right? And that's the age-old question. And for some of you, you might decide that as soon as a call option drops by about half of its value, you're quite happy to take your exit, buy back a call, and then write another call down the road a few more months at that original price you sold the last one at. Some of you are going to go, no, I got to make 2/3. I always make 2/3. Others of you are saying, now, Bruce, it's not necessarily the percentage. What I really get turned on by is the depreciation factor of the time value. And I notice that if I write a call that has 3.5 months to go, by the time it has 2 months to go, it really loses its book value to a dramatic effect. And that's when I take my cue to buy back contracts and rewrite new ones. And to each his own, it doesn't matter. It's a very conservative strategy and it's very lucrative. And as I said, there are going to be viewers on this channel who are going to be writing on a consistent basis thousands of contracts every month, month in, month out, for the rest of your lives. And you're going to be hauling in hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars a year in premium income that has nowhere to go because you've paid off all your IOUs. You've paid off all of your obligations, and you're now just compounding your net worth. Now, for those of you who are in your 50s and 60s, the race is on. The race is on right now to make as much capital as possible from your accounts to grow the value of your 401ks, IRAs, RRSPs, TFSAs in Canada, whatever you call them everywhere else. Your retirement account, you're trying to grow it to a point where you know you have the peace of mind that says to you, when I start withdrawing from this account at age 65, 67, 69, 73, whatever the year is, when I start to take money out of that account to, quote, live on, however and wherever that is, I cannot drain the account in 40 years. I can't drain it. So I'm good until I'm 100, 105, 110, or beyond, because I will still be managing the account even when I start to take money out of it. The money that I'm generating into that account is more than I'm taking out. And so my retirement account is actually getting larger than smaller as I withdraw out the money. That is the objective of those of you who are in your 50s and 60s now. That's what you're heading for. That's you're trying to stave off elimination, because elimination is where you will draw out more money than you've got, and it'll go to zero within 5 or 8 or 10 or 12 years. And by the time you're 75, 77, 80 years of age, you're only living on Social Security. And that is something you don't want to have to count on to get by on. Only that. Those of you who are in your 40s and 50s, you're in a different scenario. You have a bit of time left to keep working if you chose to, but you really have had enough and you would really like to get out. Some of you are already experiencing minor but persistently annoying health issues that you know are going to be getting worse unless you get a total lifestyle change and change your ways. Those of you are managing accounts right now to ultimately get out of the office, get out of the career, whatever that prison cell you put yourself into. You want out to be a self-employed individual, self-reliant individual, and you ultimately would like to help the kids with college, get them out of the house on their way, and now you and your significant other are empty nesters, and you're going to completely change your lifestyles because you don't need the big house in the burbs anymore. You're now going to get the retirement property you've always wanted that you visit every winter anyway. Now you're a buyer full time, or you already have your retirement property, which has been the winter getaway place, and now that is going to become your full-time residential place. Whatever strategy you have, and more power to you there. And then those of you who are young kids watching me, looking at this old, practically completely hairless man, asking yourselves, why do people listen to this guy? Why do they watch this guy's channel? He's got nothing to offer me. But that's interesting about the options. He doesn't look like anything. He has no appeal. But boy, those options would be kind of neat to write. He has no clue about what it's like as a 25, 35-year-old. But writing those options, I could really use that kind of guy. You forgive all of the sins that this channel has to your palate and your eye, and you listen to the words and go, I want to be an option writer like his other clients are option writers. I want to become at age 30, 35, and 40 what his 50 and 60 and 70-year-olds are trying to become. I want to be that now. I want to not have a 30-year career at company, blah, 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 in this profession. I do not want to be like my mother and my father. I do not want to be like my best friends' mums and dads and my uncles and cousins. No, I want to be an independently self-employed individual that can do what I want, when I want, how I want. And I need to understand what he is talking about writing options and how I can compound my wealth at this age. And that's why you guys are taking, all of you, no matter what age you are, you're taking my classes. And you're realizing he's got 15 of them now. And there's a lot in there. Hour and a half, 2 hours of class. We're talking up to 25, 30 hours of instruction here. I have to start watching his classes. And I can hang out with him during the day and watch these comments and become a member of his channel. And I can hang out with his fellow writers, option writers, and learn a lot from some of these people who are here all the time. That's what I'm going to do. And I am going to completely change my trajectory of my career. I am not going to do what everyone else in my university class is doing, or college that I went to, or friends of mine, or my older brothers and sisters who've gone down their paths. I'm going a completely different direction. And welcome to the party, those of you who are doing that. Look, if you need to take classes, the good news is a little bit of good news. There's a sale on right now on my classes. You can get 5 for the price of 4. So for $599.99 US, you can get $750 worth of classes. Make a donation to my PayPal account, and you too can order whatever 5 classes you'd like to watch as a starter. Very, very good. You need to make a donation. You make it here. There's my PayPal donation, my PayPal account there. Lesson number 15, the one that we aired last week Saturday, is now up on the website. And I got it up, I think, yesterday morning or something like that. I may have had a glitch on it, but it seems to be working now. If any of you are ordering class number 15 on the website, which is at stockmarketswithbruce.ca, right there, heads up, make sure it works. You make your donation, you're going to get a link to the class. Make sure it's number 15. If it is not, let me know, and I will help you correct it, but we should be okay. If you do want the 5 for 4 deal and it includes number 15, perfect. Tell me what 4 classes you want plus class number 15. You'll get all the links on a private email from me to you, and you're good to go. All right. So there's all of that information. If you want to become an option writer and perhaps change your life completely, that's the way to go about it. All right. Thank you all for being here today. There's the deal. Buy 5 for 4 for $5.99 US. Welcome to the party, pal. I'm glad you're here. Lots going on. And like I say, we got a ton of stuff to follow here going forward. I can't wait to grow into writing hundreds of calls a month. The thing too is that some of you can't imagine it, that you might someday write 100 or more calls. But what you need to actually do is you figure out how many you're writing now. Some of you are writing 10, 20, 30 now. How many were you writing 6 months ago? And how many calls were you writing a year ago, if you were writing any at all? And for some of you, you started with 1, 2, 3 calls at a time. Then you graduated to between 5 and 10 calls at a time. Then your call writing graduated to 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 25. Now you're in the 20, 30 range, 25, 40 range. To go from 25 to 100 is like going from 6 to 25. It's all relative. It's all it is. And it's discipline. It's the same trade. It's just a different number of contracts. So if it took you 6, 8 months to go from 6 to 25 contracts, it's going to take you 6 to 8 months to go from 25 to 100. But at 100 contracts at a time, and you pull out a $2 profit per contract, you're talking $20,000 in profits per turnover. That's a different world than pulling out, say, $200 times 5 contracts, $1,000 at a time. Making $1,000 every month or two versus making 20,000 every month or two, different world. Of course it is, but it's not the promised land yet. You're not at the top end. It's good. It's great. 20,000 every month or something, great. But to take it from 20,000 to 100,000 a month can be done within the year. That is the next phase of life. So you go from 240,000 a year to 1.2 million a year in premium income. That's a different change of lifestyle. I don't care how disciplined you are and how, I'm going to be down the line. I'm not going to change my ways. Not going to do it. It's going to change. You're going to need a tax advisor. You're going to need help with your taxes because you're going to be paying taxes. But then again, people are hireable in that level, and they're very good at helping people in that level pay the least amount that they need to pay. It's very good. There you go. Anyway, it's good stuff. Welcome all. Great to have you here. I started with 1 call last November. Now I have 9 calls and 100% stock, not permanent covered calls. Way to go, Pulse Guitar. Last November to now, what is that, 6 months? Pretty quick, buddy. That's pretty darn good. That will continue. I love this. Anyway, congratulations. Yeah. I read some of your comments here, which are pretty good. Thank you all for being here. Starship launch scrub for today, apparently. Interesting. I'm writing 100 calls, Bruce. I'm already there. You're the man. Way to go, Burrow King Sound. A year from now, probably 500-600 calls at a time. You're there, man. It's coming, and many will follow you. Many are following. Until you see it, you're happening yourself. You don't believe it, but it truly is. And again, there are people here who do not believe. They cannot believe the position they're in already. That a year ago, 2 years ago, they had no idea what a stock option was, or what they thought a stock option was is not what a stock option is. And folks from that era who began to study what we were talking about and began to write options a year ago, year and a half ago, 2 years ago, are now down the highway a long, long way, and they have realized that they cannot, despite all of their knowledge and all of their experience in writing options, they cannot explain to a close, dear, personal friend that trusts them implicitly. They cannot explain to a close friend like that in 5 minutes what it is they're doing. Their friends are just lost when, man, what you're doing is so complicated, so advanced, so beyond whatever I've ever understood the investment business to be. I don't know how you do it. And some of you are being told you're crazy, and some of you have been told you're a genius for being able to do what you do. People are complimenting you on, well, way to go. You've taken something by the horns and you really got yourself into this, and you're now writing options. This is great stuff. They don't know what it is you're doing. They don't fully understand it, but they realize you're no dummy. You are someone who takes things very seriously, especially the handling of money. And they're going, hey, if it's working for you, I am proud and happy about it. Keep it going. Become a multi-millionaire, please. And don't forget who your friends are. There you go. Nothing wrong with any of that. Welcome, everybody, to the show. We have 4 minutes to go before we start trading today. Ricardo is telling me he is thumbs up number 107 and is lurking. DQ says, oh, yeah, I am 109. And I thank all of you very much for these thumbs ups. It is much appreciated. Pulse Guitar says there are 4 other guys in my office that have started following what I've been doing. 2 of them already took the plunge and started writing covered calls. Of course, I've directed them to your channel. And way to go. Welcome everyone who's a friend of Pulse Guitar and as a follower. I'm honored you're here. I'm thrilled. And again, it's It takes a bit of learning, a little bit of faith, but you know what? The more you put into this, understanding this, the more you're going to get out of it. It's just that simple. Lobo West, I definitely had to get a tax pro. I went from being excited about a $600 income tax check before discovering Uncle Bruce. Now paying $9,000 in capital gains taxes. Account was quite surprised. I did this in 1 year. That's pretty good. Number 110 on the thumbs up button. Lobo, thank you for just sharing. Really appreciate you sharing. Again, these comments, I don't pay for them. People are paying me to be here to say this. If the name of the people you're reading comments is in green type and there's a logo beside it, an avatar, that means they are members of this channel. They are paying to be here and to comment. There's the other difference between, I think, this channel and many others out there. I'm honored by how many of you are here as members of this channel. I cannot begin to thank you enough for that. Those of you who've been here a while, you know what it means to Jennifer and I, my Jennifer Aniston lookalike wife and I, having members of this channel. It is everything. It is how this channel survives. And I thank you all who are members of this channel. Thank you for those of you who've been making notifications. Some of you occasionally will take a moment and head down to the bottom of the chat bar here, and you'll hit the little $ box there. And I think in there you're able to make a posting where you can announce in a big green bar how long you've been a member of this channel. I thank the members who tell others out there how long you've been a member of this channel. Again, I can't make anyone do that. I can't make that happen. That is done by individual viewers of this channel. It doesn't cost them anything to do it, which is great. And I have so many of you to thank for our financial success and continued ability to stay here on the air with you. And again, I always say to those out there who are skeptical, I don't run as many skeptics, but yeah, I really don't. But any of those folks out there that are skeptical about the legitimacy of this channel and the viewers, why would someone pay anywhere from $10 up to $25 a month to be a member of a YouTube channel where you can become a follower of a YouTube channel for nothing? Why would people pay that kind of money to talk to a balding, homeless guy about options unless they were making money? I mean, that's the only reason I can see them doing it. It's not because they're being nice and kind, which is great, because I have some very nice and very kind viewers. No question about that. I have some very charitable people here who are really kind to us. But it's the memberships that pay. It's what drives people to say, I'm sending this YouTuber. I'm going to become a Gold Bagel member of this guy's channel because I want that early show every morning before he even starts this show. I want to be on that, and I want to be on this Wednesday night primetime show, 8 o'clock every Wednesday night. I want to be on that for sure because this guy makes me money, and that's it. It's all it is. It's nothing personal. It's just business. And so thank you all for the business. I'm glad you're here. Mr. Premium, neat on number 115. The neat attack is happening. I bypassed buying an Audi Q7 SUV, and instead I put it all in writing covered calls. I still drive my hoopty. Soon though, right? Yes, indeed. Zed, I pay and love it. As a bonus, you can get a postcard from time to time. Remember, for 21 months, says Hector, Larry Titus, the bells have rung, Bruce. We are up and running here. Pulse Guitar, one of them is concerned with his health and wants to make sure he leaves his wife with financial security. He's hooked. First 2 days made $1,500 off of 3 covered calls. Didn't take much. Cindy, Zeta State, yes, I just got my postcard last week. I love the encouragement. Fantastic, everybody. Thank you all so much. Here we go. A couple more alerts just popped up here. Cindy B, member for 15 months, but I've been here from the beginning. Vash, member for 15 months, Gold Bagel level. Yep, one like this. I'm debating between class 10 or 14. The description for 10 doesn't really help though. There you got to watch them on it all anyway, Vash. You might as well get 5 at a time and watch them all. There you go, everybody. Thank you all for being here this morning and hanging out with me so far. We're up and open now for trading in this market. Let's see how this market goes for all of you. Hopefully you'll have a big, fat, juicy, profitable day on option writing, because it's always there. We're up about 12 points on the Dow, maybe, possibly. And we'll see how the opening quotes work out here in just a few minutes. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, all of you who are sending me emails and picking up classes and stuff and letting me know what you're doing. Fantastic. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. We're sitting at, for the market now, up 15 points. 1.5 point drop on S&P. NASDAQ down 13, but the Dow's up 15. Oil down 49 cents to 82.03. I've got artificial intelligence, AI. That's C3 AI Inc. They're down 20 cents. Unity Software down 46 this morning at 28.98. Cyxtera is off 0.7 of a penny. GameStop is off 18 cents to 22.28. We have SoFi, looks like at 5.87, down a nickel. We've got where am I here? Tesla down is up 78 cents. ATIP unchanged. Apple down 42 cents. HBQ is up $1 this morning. First Republic Bank down 31. Google down 3.39. Moderna down 8.17 at 148.94. Cisco down 3 cents. Pfizer's off 17. IBM is up 24. Microsoft is having a good day, up 3.67 at 289.81. ME unchanged. Matterport down a penny. Rocket Lab up a couple of cents. Smart Rent nothing there. Spire unchanged really. Bed Bath Beyond down 1/10 of a penny. Amazon up 78 cents. Home Depot down 13. Netflix down 171. They come out with earnings, I think, tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. Savanic Vectors down 165. Adobe up 27 cents. Goldman down 72. That was up earlier this morning. Boeing down 76 cents. Facebook down 173. Let's take a look here. Royal Caribbean down 27 cents. Early indications. Target up $1. JP Morgan up 94 cents. Costco up $2. Walmart up 30 cents. Disney's down 57 cents. Nvidia down 157 a share. And American Airlines up 4 cents to 12.83. That's what we got so far this morning. The Dow now showing down 7.6 points. S&P down a penny, or 1 point, pardon me. And NASDAQ down 2 points. Very quiet opening to the day. Aurora, I am number 120. Good morning, everybody on the thumbs up meter. When you join this channel, you're not going to like your weekends. You're just going to hate them because you can't trade on weekend. GameStop dropping. Keep going, says George. Drop. Down 18 cents. Not much. Zed, so true, says George. Hate the weekend. Cindy, I have my fingers crossed on my Tesla calls. I have 2 sold that expire this Friday. These are 190 strikes. I got 593 for them, and they die this Friday. Stock stays under 190. Those are worthless. Cindy keeps all the money. That's 593 a contract times 2. Well, we'll see how it goes. Tesla right now at 186.23. Cindy's got up to 190. So they're worthless right now. They're actually worthless when it comes to book value. The only value they have is time. Now, Cindy knows, and most viewers of this channel are aware that Cindy has choices. She's not locked in on this deal at all. She doesn't have to really panic about it in any way, shape, or form. Because, in theory, if later today or tomorrow Tesla does go to 191, 192, Cindy could quite easily just buy these back and sell contracts for next week, Friday, if she wanted to. She could either write 190s for next week or at a higher strike price. Because she's offering an extra week of time by buying back these Friday's calls and writing next Friday's calls, she'll get more money for the next Friday call than what she's paying to buy back this Friday's call. On the other hand, if by Wednesday afternoon the stock is 181 a share, and these are $9 out of the money with 2 days left to go, these are going to be trading at $3 a piece, $2.50. She may possibly buy them back anyway, even though they're out of the money and they're way down there. And then she may then write next week, Friday, 190s and get more for those. Again, she's offering more time, but they're out of the money $9. She might decide, not going to write 190s next Friday if the stock goes to 181. I'll just write 185s for next Friday. They're $4 out of the money for next week Friday. I get an even bigger premium. I'll take my chances there. Can be done. She could, of course, anytime she wants, buy these back and write 1 month, 2 month out contracts if she wishes to, at whatever strike price fits her fancy, and she could bring in even more cash up front. She has choices like anyone does when you write options. When you write an option, you are not locked in. You are not caged up. You are free to move about the country at your discretion. You own the casino, and you change the payout of your slot machine when you're ready to do so. And that is the position Cindy B is in right now. And that is why Cindy B is going to make a lot of money because of what she's doing here. I love it. I did hit the thumbs ups. Let's go for 200, says Zeta State. Hey, everybody, hit the thumbs up button for us if you don't mind. We would love to see that happen. We have 123 thumbs ups here right now. Special thanks to Vash, to Cindy. Special thanks earlier today to Rogue for putting up those big fat green banners letting us know how long they've been members of this channel. I do appreciate it. Thank you for the thumbs ups, everybody. 124 are now in the house. We need 76 more to hit 200 because that's what we like to do every morning on this channel. So if you can hit that thumbs up button for me, you can find it, nail that thing, give us a little momentum on the thumbs up window. That would be great. I would thank you very much. The Dow is up 34. Speaking of positive momentum, we're up 4.5 on S&P. We're up 26 on NASDAQ. So we're getting a little better on the markets. Yeah, let's see what's going on. Barron says, pick up HP over Dell for a PC recovery. PC sales are set for a turnaround, and that would be HPQ, folks, your Hewlett-Packard stock that you folks write options on. HPQ up 120 a share, 4% gain this morning on HPQ. Now, I mentioned earlier today on the early show, 23andMe. I wanted to bring that up to your attention today. 23andMe made an announcement late Friday night, I think it was after the bell, that a particular drug that they have a patent, they have a royalty on, has passed a phase of testing and acceptance. It didn't make too much of a difference in the after hours because, again, ME is not a heavy traded stock during the day, let alone after hours. But the shares this morning are up 4 cents to 224, and they were on Thursday, Friday, around 218, 19, something like that. A few weeks ago, they were sitting around, 219 again. Back in May, they were 214. The low of all time, 202. And we're now at 224. Nothing incredible, 98,000 traded, but this announcement has gone completely under the radar. No one has noticed it. If any of you have a chance to go and read this announcement, it's quite technical, but you may want to take a look at this announcement on 23andMe. It came out late Friday. It's on probably the ME website. It'll be in their investor relations department. It's certainly on MarketWatch. Under, when you put the symbol in for ME, you'll find it under news announcements, press releases. This is the kind of an announcement that will not surprise me. We're going to get more of these, and these kinds of announcements are going to come out from ME as they continually progress down the road with their partners to create new drugs against cancer, against other diseases and what have you. And it only takes one of the probably dozens of different drugs they're helping get created through their DNA library. One, just one, anytime, will take this stock to $10 a share. A second one will take this to $30 a share. A third one will take the stock to $100 a share, because this company is going to earn royalties for life on new drugs that are being created and being advanced. And it's only a matter of time, that all of the DNA that they have collected from all these kits they've done over the years and are still doing to this day, they have the world's largest DNA bank in period, the largest in the planet. And they are actively working with drug companies who are trying to create new medications to fight all kinds of diseases. And there is no end to the upside for ME on these royalties. There's no cost to produce the drug. There's no research facilities required. They don't have to do any of the patent work. They don't have to make the drug. They don't have to market the drug. They just collect the royalty because of their DNA library that help these drug pharmaceutical companies help design the right drug for the right treatment. It is truly an unrealized monster of upside, unrealized by the street. 99.9999% of the market has no idea what I'm trying to tell you guys. Many of you here do know this. ME is an entity that is only one announcement away, and I don't know which one it is, which announcement, what day, what week, what month, from a breakout. And I don't know if the announcement on Friday is a precursor of more announcements to come about that particular drug, or what I certainly am convinced of, that is a precursor of the kind of announcements that are going to come up with a lot of regularity from ME and their partners. Because as each week goes by and each month goes by, all of these deals they've been making for the last 1 or 2 or 3 years and will continue to make going forward with pharmaceuticals from around the planet will one day come back to benefit ME. And you'll find that one drug by this company, one drug made by that company, one drug made by that company, are all paying royalties to ME. They don't have one company they live off of. They're not dominated by any one entity. They are a library of DNA. And they're going to be receiving royalties from everywhere. And all the drug pharmaceuticals are going to want to have a deal with ME. That is the source they want to go to for this reliable information. Anyway, just mention it. The stock is up 2 cents to 222. Right now, it looks like I'm just talking about a stock that no one gives a crap about. I totally get it. Everyone out there is in one of those moods where they say, show me the finished result and then I'll believe you. And those will be the folks who will have to pay 10, 12, 15 a share to get in, because that's how this game works. Once you've delivered the goods, the cat is out of the bag. And so those who get in now when it's really quiet and boring are the ones who will win. The Warren Buffett type. The Warren Buffett. They buy it and they sit on it and they just don't say a word. They don't comment. They just wait it out. If you're one of those people, way to go. All right. Matterport is up 2 cents. Rocket Lab is up 4. Smart Rent up a penny. Spire's up 2.2 cents a share. That's what I've got here. We're up 41 on the Dow right now. 2.5 on S&P, it would appear. Let's see if I can get my big SI pad to refresh. GameStop seems to be ahead by or down by about 4 cents right now. There we go. We're up 1.7 on S&P. We're up 1/5 of a point on NASDAQ. It's really quiet. We're down 54 cents on oil. Unity is down 9. The 3C is down 4. We've got SoFi down 4 cents at 588. GameStop down 4 cents. Xterra is up 9/10 of a penny at 29.1. We got Tesla up 218 to 187. ATIP down 1/10 of a penny. Apple down 71 cents. HPQ is up 110. First Republic Bank down 28. Google down 381. Moderna down 12.50 today at 144.50. Cisco up 2 pennies. Pfizer down 8. IBM is up 35. Microsoft up 280. ME up 1.5. There's a quick recap of what we have at the moment, and we'll see how the markets go. SoFi's chart looks interesting, says Splair. Good morning, Splair. Cindy, I know it's last Friday and bought after hours. I really thought it would take off today, but it just takes time. says Cindy on the ME. Kiwi number 129 on the thumbs up button, Bruce. We're already pushing that. I see now 142 thumbs ups on this show. 58 to go to get to 200. Thank you, everybody, for hitting the thumbs up button. Alex is in the house, Gold Bagel member for 22 months, been a member of this channel. HBQ upgraded to overweight by JP Morgan and set a $35 price target. A good day to write calls. Yes, a wonderful day to write calls when you have a nice $1 plus pop on the stock. You want to take your positioning out of the money and bring in some cash. Thank you very much. Can't wait for JP Morgan and all the other boys out there to recommend SoFi and recommend 23andMe and Rocket Lab and Spire and Smart Rent and all the other stocks we follow. Can't wait for the day to come. We'll see what happens. 144 thumbs ups and counting. 56 to go, and we've got 200. Thank you, everybody, for your support of this channel. We're down 7 on GameStop, 22.38. Really not moving very much. The low and the high on GameStop today, 22.14 for the low, 22.55 for the high. It's a 41-cent range. We're not doing much of anything so far. But the market, this is what the whole market looks like. It's really quiet at the moment. And we're up 7 on the Dow, down 0.75 of a point on S&P. We're down 13 on NASDAQ. So not much. DQ is saying, Uncle Bruce, I rolled my January 2025 Moderna 180s to January 2024 145s, sold new for $35.55. I bought back the old for $30. That was nice. You sold the old ones for $83, something like that. It was a heck of a price you sold those for. Now you bought them at 30. You've written new ones at $35.55. Giddy up, man. And you're only into January 2024. This is April 2023. 8 months instead of 20 months. Oh, the clock has come back to you. Original sales, yes, 83 and change for the original sale. Way to go, pal. So you hauled in $5,300 per contract to take some of the sting out of the rollovers, and now you're sitting right here. Way to go, man. This is awesome sauce stuff, man. Mandu number 5, Bruce. I am your 145th thumbs up today. You need 55 more. Good morning to get to 200. Thank you all so much for these thumbs ups, guys. Can't thank you enough. 146. I appreciate it. Thank you for these green bars. Everyone is putting out how long they've been a member of the channel. Much appreciated to let the rest of the world know that we're here. We are here. Fantastic stuff, everybody. Thank you for being part of the show. All right. Excellent stuff, everybody. Welcome to the party, one and all. All right. Okay. What else is going on out there? I don't know. I don't know what else is going on. Up 18 on the down. Nothing crazy going on, but option writers here just get richer all the time. It's just the way it is. They can't help it because option gamblers are just so desperate to look for a lottery ticket when they'll put down money on the counter like you can't believe to try to gamble on your stock. Let them do it. Let them gamble on your stock all day long. It's absolutely what you want them to do. Let them go nuts about trying to figure out which stock is going to the moon and give you a ton of money to gamble it. It's exactly what you want. There's nothing wrong with any of that. Thank you all so much for your continued support of this channel. I'm not complaining. I'll tell you that right now. Not at all. 187 folks are watching today. Let me know where you're watching me from. What's your eye temperature going to be today? Are you guys in summer weather yet? We are here in the desert. We are shooting 90s now, quite normally. High 80s, low 90s, no problem. That's our new normal. How are you guys doing for the weather where you are? Has gas come down in price or gone up in price where you live? You want to let us know? That'd be great. Oil is down 55 cents a barrel to 81.97. Experts out there are worried about oil prices. The only worry they have is if oil goes to 100, 110 a barrel. They're worried about inflation, that if oil runs to that level, there would be more inflation in the economies. But here at 81, I don't know if we can hold 80, 81 myself. There's plenty of oil around out there. I don't see a huge demand for it. Not from recovery anyway. Uncle Bruce, Tesla earnings this week, will it go over 200? I asked because I have a Tesla option expiring this week with a strike of $200. Well, Zed, again, I don't know, but you know what? You don't have to do a thing. Let the earnings come out. Wait, it'll come out after the market, I think, on Wednesday. So it'll be Thursday morning before you do anything. And your attitude is simply this: if the shares want to go higher in anticipation of earnings, you let them do so. But if they top out at 190.95, you're just going to sit back and go, okay, let's see what happens on Thursday. If the shares do go higher, you'll do a rollover. You'll buy back your Friday calls. You'll write next week Friday, or the Friday after that, or the month after that. On the other hand, if the shares back off coming into earnings because the perception is that their numbers are going to be lower, you may find that your calls this Friday really peter out and lose a lot of their value. And you may be tempted to buy them back and just close out the position, wait till Thursday, let the market tell you what it's doing, and then you decide your next option rate at that point. Pardon me. Let me take a look here at some contracts for good old Tesla here. Let's see if I can get this to work, because sometimes my big ass iPad puts up squawk. This gives me a hard time. Just doesn't want to play, doesn't want to be part of the party. Very frustrating. You've got $200 strikes this Friday. And the last market on them is zero. You couldn't possibly have any of those. Is that true? Am I missing something here? Oh yeah, I'm missing something. Let me take a look at. Here we go. This Friday's the 21st, right? Yeah, here we go. That's a little more like it, Bruce. Pardon-moi. Yeah, they're $2.98 to $3 right now for the 200s. The 195s are $4.45 to $4.55. The 190s, which are still $2 out of the money, are $6.45 to $6.50 for this Friday. If you want to go to next Friday, in theory, you could buy back your calls, your 200s today, and write 200s for next week and get $4.40 to $4.50. You could write 197.50s for $5.20, $5.30. You could write 195s for $6 to $6.10 and bring in almost $400 more per contract. Just doing that. If you want to go further than that, you could write into May. You could write May 5 expiry 200s and get $5.80 to $5.90. If you went out to May 12th, 200s would bring you $7 to $7.20. There's where the premiums are hanging around. May 19th, the third Friday of the month, 200s are $8.25, $8.35. So that would be almost $6 more for writing Mays, and you can have that now. But the question is, what will the stock do between now and Wednesday, Thursday morning? But again, you don't have to worry about it. Even if you did this rollover and you bought back your this Fridays, and wrote those for May, and the stock does go up, you don't care. You'll buy your Mays back and write Junes. You'll write June 205s, June 210s. You're not going to care. But here's the thing I would keep in mind, okay? Right now, if you buy back your this Friday's calls, they will go from 2-something to 0 if the shares stay under 200 a share, of course. Between now and Thursday morning, they may not depreciate very much because of the anticipation that there's a possibility that maybe, perhaps, it could be that the shares do go up. Okay. But come Thursday morning, it's all over. Thursday morning, we know the story. If the shares are 196 Thursday morning, these contracts are $1 because the stock only went to 196. If the shares are 206, well, then these are worth $6, and that's probably what they'll trade at is book value. You'll roll them over into 205s, 210s, a month or two down, no problem. On the other hand, we go down in price. We go from 188 to 180 on Thursday morning. These calls are 50 cents. Now, that means, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, you're not going to make a lot of money here making this move, with sticking around. Because right now, the 200s are trading at for this Friday, the last I saw anyway, $2.98 to $3. So there's $3 of potential upside for you. Potential. Most likely, they're going to go from the 3 range to the 1 range. You're going to make $2. That's the most you're going to make, more or less, between now and Thursday. You got to wait 4 days to make $2. On the other hand, if you were to write a third Friday of May $200 contract, you could bring in that 8 something right now. And if those go down to $4 by Friday, you make $4. Now, the stock goes up, they might go up to 10, but you got 8, which is 5 more than you're getting now. So you can add $5 a share of cash in your account now, sit until Thursday, Friday, see what the stock does. It backs off a little bit. You'll buy those back for half price. The stock goes up a little bit. They might stay at 8. They might not go beyond 8.50. And you'll just wait the grind out for a couple more weeks, and away we go. We'll see. You've got choices. Okay. Splair, eToro, notification sugar's up 17% after a month. Nick DeMaurier, gas $5.15 here in north of San Francisco, $5.15 a gallon. Otis Pumping, I've been having trouble finding an IT in the money option for HPQ that fits the 90-10 rule for a while now. Aggravated trade. Here's a donation, Bruce. How often have you seen DXY and SPY go up together? I can't answer that question because I don't follow them in tandem or really separately, other than watching the indexes themselves. That's all I really do. So I can't give you an opinion on it because I'm not qualified to do so. But we are ahead on the S&P by 1 point, which would be a dime for the SPYs, maybe. Not much going on there. 36-point gain on the Dow. 1 on S&P. We're down 2 on NASDAQ, with oil down 60 cents a barrel. That's what we got right now, and that's where we're at the moment, everybody. AI is up 12 cents. Unity is down 2. Cyxtera is at 29 cents a share. GameStop, $22.50, up 4. SoFi is up down 3 cents at $5.90, pardon me. Tesla is up 3.05, 188.06. ATIP down 0.6 of a penny at 28.3. Apple is down 44 cents. HBQ is up 109. First Republic Bank down 36 cents. Google down 3.51. Moderna down 10.50. Cisco down 6 cents. Pfizer down 17. IBM is up 20. Microsoft up 2.19. ME unchanged. Matterport up 0.5 penny. Rocket Lab up 7.5. SmartRent up 2.5. Spire up 1/5 of a penny, and Bed Bath Beyond down is up 30 cents. 3 cents. 26.8 cents a share. Yuck. Amazon up 72. Home Depot up 36 cents. Netflix down 2.39. Vanik down 2.23. Adobe down 1.21. Goldman up 82 cents. Boeing up 2.79. Meta down 2.34. That's the story. Target is up 64 cents. JP Morgan down 8 cents. Costco up 4.05. Walmart up 74. Disney down 3 cents. Nvidia down 39. American Airlines up 23 cents to 13.02. Back to 13.02 on American. 29-point gain on the Dow Jones at the moment is what we have right here. That's what we're showing. Yes, headline, gradually, then suddenly is the quote. Earnings expectations may be about to drop, says Morgan Stanley analyst, strategist. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I think we're going to get more public companies coming in with lower expectations on their earnings. That's what I think is coming. It's a smart thing to do. Give everybody heads up. We think we're not going to make as much money. Just letting you know. We'll keep you posted. We'll see. Spare, if there wouldn't be a show today, I would fall asleep because of this market. White Feather, my FRC calls are green, man. First Republic. Giddy up, baby. FRC. We're down 31 cents to 12.82. I can imagine those calls are in the green for sure, White Feather, for sure. 189.32 on Tesla, up 4.22. This is about the high of the day for Tesla. 189.69. We're 20 cents away, 25 cents away. We're right in that neighborhood at the moment. We've got the markets themselves up 55 for the Dow, up 5.5, and S&P up 16 for NASDAQ. The best numbers of the day so far, from what I can tell you. Oil still down 48 cents a barrel. Okay. We have 154 thumbs ups, 46 needed to go to get to 200. Thank you, everybody, for that. It is appreciated. Nick, good morning. Hey, Uncle Bruce, I wrote Unity July 30s a month ago. I got $4 for him. This is on the run up a week ago. I rolled in, so then a week ago, I rolled into November 35s for another 75 cents. Should I roll back to July or August 30s on this pullback? What do you think I should do? Well, we're at 29.55. The stock has backed off in the last few days. We did peak out at 31.53 just on April 12th. So, 5 days ago. So that's last Wednesday. And from 31.50 now to 29.50, $2 drop. So now an opportunity might be there to come in. You might want to take advantage of it. Again, if it makes sense for you economically, fabulous. Nick, Mirko, China is warning about major military actions in the Yellow Sea for tomorrow. Something happens, that'll tank the market? Question mark right there. Well, it won't help. It might help defense contractors, but maybe not other stocks, and it won't help Chinese stocks because if the Chinese create all kinds of havoc, that means all kinds of commercial shipping is interrupted. That's not good for China. That hurts China more than anybody else because they need open lanes to do business, sea lanes. And the last thing the Chinese need are container ships not able to go in or out of China freely, safely, no matter what the Chinese military wants to promise or what they think they can promise to anybody's safety or not. I don't know. We'll see. SoFi earnings this week, next week. I think it's the 1st of May. Mirko, not Tuesday. They warned for Thursday. Interesting. Andrew says negative 2 cents. Drew, 154. Good morning, everybody. I'm 154 and the thumbs up, says Drew. I see 155 now. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate this. Keep those thumbs ups coming. 46 to go. And we hit 200. We need, what do we got right now? We're on the air now, 1 hour 31. We have 29 minutes to get the rest of the thumbs ups to make 200 during the show. That would be kind of nice. If anybody of you folks can help me there, that would be pretty cool. We need 45 in 29 minutes. Is it possible? Is it actually possible? I don't know. Well, we'll hope for the best. Thank you so much. Giddy up, everybody. Welcome to the party, pal. Thank you for those of you who've been taking advantage of the 5-for-4 deal on the lessons. I've got that thing running along the bottom there. If you want to get 5 lessons for the cost of 4, including lesson number 15, fabulous. Those of you who just want to acquire number 15 that we did the other day, that was last Saturday. Number 15 is now available on my website, stockmarketswithbruce.ca. Head over there and you will find the class available for purchase right there on the website. And again, those of you who have been picking these up, thank you all. You're helping yourself out dramatically. There's number 15, Advanced Poor Man Cover Call Strategies. Definitely start with that. You want to start, I think, with lesson number, is it 11? Using Poor Man Cover Call Writing Strategies to Quit Your Day Job. Grab 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Grab these 4 lessons to understand more about poor man cover call writing so that you are really able to enjoy lesson number 15. Definitely a good move. Start at number 11 and move up from there. There's 5 right there. 5 for the price of 4. $5.99.99 US gets you all those classes. Now you can understand how poor man cover calls work to enhance revenue to your account instantly. That might be a move you may want to consider. Thank you, everybody. If China attacks, will Western companies afford to pull out? Well, that's the other thing to wonder about. Interesting stuff. Home Skillet, Zed, a TDA list SoFi earnings pre-market 5-1, May 1. Alberto, so if SoFi goes and it'll run, I'm predicting a negative 2 cents a share loss. Blair, you, Uncle Bruce, wasn't lesson 8 or so introducing into the poor man covered calls? You might be right. Let me double check. I'm not 100% sure. What are these lessons here? 5, 6, 7, 8. Who do you appreciate? How do you trade stock option credit spreads? I don't know if that had to do anything with poor man cover calls. 9, how to trade call, put butterflies. Number 10, how does Uncle Bruce pick his favorite stocks? No, I think 11. I think 11, 12, 13, 14, and then number 15. Those will cover a lot of the poor man cover call strategies and give you a ton to chew on for sure for added knowledge on options. That's going to be 7.5 plus hours of instruction right there. Well worth your $599.99 because if you can flip 20 contracts and make $2 a contract, that's 10 grand profit. You're paying what, 600 to be to watch these classes as many times as you want for the rest of your life. Yeah, I'd say that's a good deal, but that's just me. What can I say? We have 161 thumbs ups there. They keep coming in. Thank you, everybody. 39 to go in 23 minutes. 39 thumbs ups needed in 23 minutes to make it to 200, everybody. Thank you all for helping me out here and getting these through the channel. Thank you. 28-point gain on the Dow, 3/4 of a drop on S&P, and 12-point loss on NASDAQ. Little sell wave came through. Oil down 53 cents. AI up 20. Unity up 16 cents. Cyxtera sitting at 29, up 0.8 of a penny. GameStop up 13 to 22.59. SoFi down 1 penny. SoFi trying to come back. Tesla up to 79, 187.79. ATIP is down 0.2 of a penny lower. Apple's off 89 cents. HPQ up 106. FRC down 27. Google down 369. Moderna down 10.16. Cisco down 3. Pfizer down 17. IBM up 4. Microsoft up 182. So what we got going on this morning. Welcome, everybody. The moment SoFi pops, look out. This channel lights up like a Christmas tree. It's going to be insane. Zed, if SoFi pops, so will UPST. The Bagel Babe, 7+ hours. Perfect for my flight to England. Rock and roll. Splair, but isn't it a part of the name from class number 8, stock options, credit spreads, and poor man cover call? You could be right, Splair. I don't remember exactly what's in number 8 because I did that channel a while ago, that show, that class. I just finished number 15, and so you guys know you got to watch them all. Look, bottom line, you got to watch all 15 classes. Some of which you're going to watch 2, 3, 4, 5 times over and over and over again to get the knowledge and to absorb it. So, if you've already got class 8, whenever you're ready, watch class 8. But start at number 1, everybody. Let's get with the program. College, you start day 1 until the end. You don't start in the last 3 months of the course. You start with lesson number 1. Thank you all for following this channel and being a viewer and a loyal class taker. I appreciate it very much. It makes it much easier for me to explain to you what is going on out there. Just makes it a bit easier for me to work this. 22.59 is the last trade on GameStop. 22.61 it looks like now. We're up 15 cents. This is about the high of the day right now. We are approaching the high trade of the day on GameStop. Giddy up, everybody. Follow that very closely. And Z Estate, number 8, starts with poor man cover calls. Tiff, Splair is right. Number 8 also talks about it. Fantastic. Thank you, everybody out there who is really diligent on it. I appreciate it very much. Giddy up, everybody. Welcome to the party and welcome to the show. 183 of you are here. I hope you're having a great day today, no matter where in the world you are. Say hi to me. Let me know where you're watching me from. That would be great. Hope you're having a great day today. Good weather. And hopefully wherever you are, gasoline prices, if they're important to you, are dropping. Here in California, I don't have to worry about gas prices. I've been driving a Tesla, and we don't even pay attention to the gas prices. Not even close. I haven't been in front of a gas pump since November of 2022. It's the last time I've been to a gas pump. Unbelievable. I don't miss it. I'll tell you that right now. Anyway, there you go. What else is going on? The Big E, Berlin, 9 degrees. I love Berlin. Gosh, Jen and I love Berlin so much. We are already thinking about going back yet again to Berlin. We love the Museum Island. We want to go there and see those again. We want to spend more time in Berlin and be there in a casual, relaxed way rather than a 1 week quick in and out trip. We want to really be there. I'd like to be in Berlin like at least a month and just enjoy the area around Berlin as well. So much history to see, so many places, beautiful spots. Congratulations to all of you who've ever been to Berlin. You know it. It is really something else. Fabulous stuff. Alberto, 47 degrees in Syracuse, New York. Right on, pal. That's better than 27 degrees in Syracuse, New York. I sure hope that the weather keeps warming up for all of you here. We're into April now. The sun's angle is rising dramatically. The burn off of whatever snow is out there is happening here in the desert all around us. The mountains that were white with snow are now becoming rocky looking. They're losing a lot of the snow. And we are curious here in California how much runoff is going to happen and flooding because of the snow runoff this year. Zeta State, GameStop hit the green. It could just go down below 20 for 30 seconds. Well, it's at 22.60, up 14 cents. Go, GameStop, go. Make my viewers either rich or going up or down. It doesn't matter. Hector, Uncle Bruce, it'll feel like 34 degrees Celsius today in the Mayan Riviera. I walk everywhere, so no understanding of gas prices. I have no idea what gas is. I walk wherever I go. Fabulous. Fantastic, Hector. Well done. A Splair, 57.2 Fahrenheit, 14 degrees Celsius in Dortmund, by the way. I know my cousin is happy with that. That's a much nicer weather than winter weather. So Splair, another 13 degrees, and you've got room temperature, 70 degrees. That is room temperature. Very nice. I'm sure that when you're walking outside and if the sun is shining on you and it's 57 degrees, it feels much warmer than that. The perfect kind of weather to play some football with, or throw a frisbee, or just go for a walk. Enjoy a walk with a dog. Head to the park. Nice. Very, very nice. The kind of weather where you can sit outside at a cafe and enjoy a nice coffee, wearing maybe a windbreaker. Nice, comfortable weather for sure. Lorraine, 54 degrees in Midtown. I think that's what Lorraine is trying to tell me. 54 degrees in Midtown. That is okay. As long as it isn't windy, that is great weather as well. No complaints should be lodged with anyone on that. Fantastic, everybody. 166 thumbs ups. If you guys are happy that spring weather is finally coming your way, hit the thumbs up button for us. Let us know. I do appreciate it. I can only say to all of you out there making money on your option trades, neat is all I can say. Splair, yeah, when the sun is shining, I feel already comfortable, but when the wind comes out, especially at the lake, it's not so fancy with some warm clothing. I hear you there, buddy. Splair, neat. Alex, Splair, about the same here in Manchester, same kind of weather. Hector, neat. Alex, neat. Kevin D, it's 50 degrees in Clovis, but it'll get to 70 today. Giddy up. Gonna be nice. Neat. The Big E from Berlin. Neat. Oh, they're kneeing in Berlin. Splair, they're kneeing in Dortmund. The knee emojis are flying everywhere from around the world now on this channel. The knee attack is underway. Welcome one and all to the party. You're all welcome to join in. 167 thumbs ups. 33 left to get, and we've got 200 for the day with 15 minutes to go in this session. Everyone, thank you so much for the knee emojis and the thumbs ups. Aurora's here. Neat from Calgary. Neat. Fabulous. We're up 36 on the Dow right now. That's what I got going here with this market. 22.63 in GameStop, up 17 cents a share. Giddy up, everybody. Thank you all for being here. 54 degrees in Midtown Manhattan, says Lorraine. Fabulous. That's the Big Apple, baby. It's all good there. We're up 41 on AI, 44 on Unity, and GameStop up 17. SoFi up 3 cents to $5.95. Lorraine is happy. John Anderson, neat. Here come the knee emojis from even more viewers. Thank you all. 266 gain on Tesla. We got Apple down 56, HPQ up $1. Holding our own. FRC down 36 cents. Google down 3.24, Moderna down 10.22, Cisco up a penny, Pfizer down 12, IBM down 8, Microsoft up 235. There you go. Larry Titus, neat. He says, thanks, Larry. I always count on you. Appreciate all of you who are here saying hello to all of us and pushing those knee emojis out there from the Knights of Knee. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, it's the Knights of Knee. And do not mess with those guys. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Fantastic to have you all here. And appreciate your support of the channel. 167 thumbs ups, 33 to go to get to 200. Yeah, baby. We're working those thumbs ups. Absolutely. Oh my. Oil's still down. It's down 65 cents a barrel at 81.86. That's what we have here on oil prices. There you go. Now, Splair is wondering, Alex, let's see who gets the warmer weather first. Neat, says Splair. Giddy up all. Yep, we're watching these markets and seeing how they're going to go. It's been a quiet one today, to be honest. There's not much movement in the markets at all. Very calm day today. Earnings coming out a lot this week. Tomorrow, more bank earnings. And we'll have Tesla on Wednesday coming out. We'll see what. We'll see what gives here. We got a lot to follow going forward. Thank you, everybody, for all of your support today. D.A. Truda, neat, more knee emojis coming out from around the planet. It is fabulous. All righty. Let's see. U.S. builder sentiment inching up in April, but demand for new homes is strong. 100,000 new public EV chargers are being built through Walmart, Zipcar, Uber, through the Biden administration. That infrastructure bill, lots of chargers being built everywhere. More Americans are snapping up used electric cars. There you go. Interesting stuff. Junk-free reforms have not passed Congress, but travelers may already be seeing some changes. You can imagine congressmen are under unbearable pressure to not change the junk fee environment. What are junk fees? You go to the airport and they weigh your bag, and it's 1 pound over, and they want $100 from you. They now have a fee for carry-on baggage, or they have a fee for, booking a seat. If you book a seat early, it's one price. If you book a seat later, it's more. Hotels have resort fees that are non-existent. There's no resort. You're dealing with a motel with nothing, and they want to charge you $20 a day resort fees. How about those Vegas resort fees that have been a ripoff for tourists for decades now? Where in the wintertime there's no pool, there's no nothing, and they charge you $35, $45, $50 resort fees. Everything's closed. It's just a bunch of hooey. The junk fees, Congress hasn't passed it. You'd wonder, with Americans really upset with junk fees, you'd think Congress, being, representing the public with 545 districts, you'd think these Congress people would pass a junk fee ban, and yet they aren't. And why is that, I wonder? Is it possible that the airlines have lobbyists all over these guys and girls? Is it possible the hotel lobby is all over them? Do you think it's possible that any other outfit that has junk fees are all over their Congress people to not mess with a good thing? We suck people in all the time. They say we don't want to change a damn thing. Because after all, if you make us include all these charges in our rates, we have to raise our prices. You know what? I'm already paying those stupid prices. It's just that I don't know what I'm paying until I get to the final checkout and I really find out what I'm paying. I don't like being ripped off and being held back from the truth until the very end of the checkout process. I want to know up front, if I check out an airfare between Boston and Philadelphia, what is the damn airfare. That's all I'm asking. Transparency for everybody, which means every airline has to do it exactly the same way. You can't play games. Can't understand why Congress would not allow that. That's funny. Hey there, Jen.
It's like buying a mattress.
Yeah, buying a mattress.
You can't compare.
You can't compare mattresses, and yet there's only so many factories that make them. That's odd, isn't it? It's like a closed shop. Isn't that something?
I slept in.
Oh, I'm so exhausted. I am so tired today. And yet this weekend we did get some sleep. We rested.
We did.
But we did stay up a little late Saturday night watching Marvel's Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah, but that shouldn't do it.
Whatever, we're just tired.
We're clogged out. Must be another new plant out.
Maybe that's what all those roses that are going around us. There are roses.
Our roses don't smell.
Yeah, but they're exploding everywhere. There's pollen everywhere.
It's like a new one every hour.
Oh, it's incredible.
Crazy.
It's just insanity. Yeah, it's crazy, Auntie Jen. So crazy. RBLX earnings below expectations, says Hector Flint. I am here prepping for hoteliers conference at Cornell. Busy, go markets. Splair, Hector, seems that kids can use so much mom's credit cards for accessories on Roblox. Splair, or at least I'm still convinced that this is the biggest cash flow these games from today. Richard Carlin, good morning, Auntie Jen. Splair, good morning, Auntie Jen. Alberto, Auntie Jen, how you doing? How you doing? John Anderson, good morning, Jen. How you doing? Yeah, how you doing?
Joey from Friends.
How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, welcome all. And welcome Auntie Jen to the show. I've been begging people for thumbs ups this morning. We have 167 now in the house. We got 7 minutes to get the rest to make it to 200 before I go. I don't know if we're going to get there, but we have been getting some help, which is kind of nice. Thank you, Nick Dumouriez. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, Nick Dumouriez? How you doing? Yeah. Well, folks here are doing okay. They're rolling over options. They're cashing in on some real nice premiums here.
Excellent.
They're watching Tesla closely because Wednesday night they come out with earnings.
Ooh,
and so we're all wondering.
Tesla's up right now?
Well, they've been off from the 209 to 180 something. Yeah. We have a few viewers here with 190 contracts that expire Friday, some with 200s, all watching to see what's going to happen on Tesla. So we're all on it. That is for sure.
Any hints? Any little leaks of what to expect?
No, but I think the numbers are going to be a bit lower because, yes, they're producing more cars, but they've reduced their prices.
Mm-hmm.
And a $1,000 price drop by Tesla is $1,000 lost profit per car.
Right.
$5,000 drops, which we've seen on the Model S and Model X, that's $5,000 per car. That adds up when you do tens of thousands.
You lower your revenue without lowering your expenses.
So there you go. So we'll see how that works out. Hector says, Splair, that's interesting. Christina, Uncle Bruce, do you ever call Auntie Jen by her real name when off air, or do you just stick with Auntie Jen? It varies.
He calls me everything.
Oh, yeah.
And he's always done that.
Yeah.
I'm called his sister's name, sometimes his mother, not often. And our poor daughter gets called everything under the sun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I go, what's your name? I do it all. JR, good morning, Auntie Jen. Happy Monday.
Good morning, JR.
We're going to see JR. We're going to see JR tomorrow for lunch.
I know, that's so exciting.
JR, we're looking forward to this. We're getting together with you tomorrow. He's coming to town. We're getting together with JR. Splair, yeehaw. Zed, Matterport is green. Splair, the how you doing is something I could start using daily when talking to friends. I mean, friends. How you doing? Yeah, laugh all the. Who made up Auntie Jen? Who made that up? I did. Jennifer was known as Jennifer on my other channel, and Auntie Jen is known as Auntie Jen here. Yeah, JR, Uncle Bruce.
I got to be Auntie Jen because you were Uncle Bruce.
That's right. She's Auntie Jen because I'm Uncle Bruce. People started calling. I used to refer to Jen as Jennifer. But then people call me Uncle Bruce. Now they call her Auntie Jen. It just, evolved. JR, Uncle Bruce finally took the plunge and I bought 500 Tesla shares. I wrote 5 out of the money calls on those shares. And when they expire, they are worth $6,500 to me. Rinse and repeat and slowly build the number of Tesla. Giddy up, man. Giddy up. Now that, hey, you, that works well in my house, Uncle Bruce. That way I don't need to remember anyone's names. Hey, you. It's perfect. JR, yeah, looking forward to it myself. Looking forward to coming down. Yeah, there was a perfume that was promoted on Saturday Night Live on one of those parody commercials. It's called Hey You.
Oh, yeah.
That was Gilda Radner. Hey You. Yeah. 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 Seductive perfume known as Hey You. There you go. Karen, I hope you enjoyed last Friday off. Yes, that was a week ago.
Well, and it was a surprise. I thought we'd get in Canada, we get Monday off.
We figured on Tuesday or Wednesday that we're getting Friday off. Then it occurred to us, oh my God, we're not open on Friday.
Friday's off.
But Saturday was class day. So Friday was spent getting ready for the class.
But
and the stress level rises the day before class day. It always rises. I go a little nuts, and I'm double checking, triple checking, getting ready to do my thing on Saturday. And then I get it done, and I go, oh, that's over. Okay, now it's being edited, and I can relax again, and then Monday back to work,
and then having to remember all the steps to get it back up on the website.
Oh Lord, how do I load it up on the website? Oh, how do I do it? Oh yeah. Anyway, we're okay. We're okay. Alberto Jr. That's it. All right, there. That's it. Buy those shares, JR, write those calls, and make the money. There you have it.
Right.
That's what it's all about. Rinse and repeat. We're up 57 on the Dow, 4 points on S&P, 4 points on NASDAQ. We're just kind of going.
I got to get out there and get some exercises done.
Okay, Auntie Jen. Exercises for you must be done. 168 thumbs ups in honor of Auntie Jen. Wow. Okay. Thanks for pointing at my ear. See you a little later, babe.
Bye.
Yeah, Auntie Jen is going to do her exercises now and build up that hip of hers. How's her hip doing? It's doing great. It's doing really great. JR, sorry, Uncle Bruce couldn't find an actor on board to cover for me. I had to watch the rerun, but boy, that guy who you hired looks like your twin. Yeah, you'll have to ask me some skill testing questions tomorrow to make sure it's really me and not a stand-in that's meeting you for lunch tomorrow. Jen and I will. You're going to have to give us those skill testing questions. Make sure that's really you. Or are you an imposter? Who are you really? Thank you all for being here today. And again, for those of you who have been picking up these classes, appreciate it. Going to our stock markets with Bruce.ca, picking up these buy 5 classes for the price of 4. Thank you all so much for that. We appreciate it. And again, number 15, class 15 is now available. So you can pick it up whenever you're ready, and away you go. Oh, never mind that, Bruce. Let's go back to here. Here we are. And I think I'm okay. I think I'm all right. I hope I'm all right. No, we're okay. We're okay. Double checking everything. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. I hit the wrong button there for a moment. Splair's just saying, just in case, I'm wishing you all relaxed and easygoing day. Hope you don't get too stressed to that market. Hector, neat. That's it, everybody. Thank you. We have 170 thumbs up. So we need 30 more. Anybody watching on the rerun can definitely help us out there. We appreciate that. Every day I find that we do hit over 200 thumbs ups no matter what, because folks pick up these classes, they pick up the show on rerun, and then they hit the thumbs up button on the rerun to make sure we get over 200 thumbs ups. And I do appreciate it. All of you who are helping out there. It is tremendous, absolutely tremendous. Every day of the week, 5 days a week, we get 200 or more thumbs ups. You guys are awesome. Thank you. All righty, there it is. It's the 2-hour mark. We've been on the air. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm going to be live later today on my other channel, Traveling with Bruce, doing 2 shows over there, 7 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Eastern. The 8 o'clock show is open to all, and you're welcome to join me if you like over there. Say hi to us. That would be great. And I know those folks over there are itching for Jen and I to go traveling. We're constantly scheming here, the 2 of us right now. We're doing a lot of scheming about our next trip. Now that we're finishing this trip here, we're going to be back in Canada at the end of this month. and settling into the new apartment. And then the latter part of the summer, I'm looking for us to go out again, hopefully. And hopefully we'll go to places not visited before. We'll see what's going on. See what gives, everybody. Thank you all so much for being around here. Richard Carlin hitting the knee emoji. So is Hector. Thank you guys for the knee emojis. Thank you for the thumbs ups now. 172, 28 to go. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day today. Take care of yourselves. Keep an eye on these markets. Let's see what's going on. And hopefully you'll all just get richer and richer and richer. And you too will have wonderful money problems going forward, where banks keep calling you to lend you money you don't need. John Anderson, thanks everybody. Splair, will there be a CA phone amplifiers again available? Yeah, when I get back to Calgary eventually I'll let you in on those. Yeah, right now can't do it. John Anderson, neat, Splair, neat, Splair. Thumbs ups for Bruce. Thanks everybody so much for all your emojis and knee attacks and thumbs ups and everything. All I can say is neat. Thank you all. We'll catch you tonight on the other channel, or we'll catch you right here tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and make a ton of money out there. Get a lot richer, okay? Talk to you real soon. Bye for now.